Our guest today is Jim Parkman. This was a huge case. I mean, this was the fourth largest accounting fraud in the history of the United States.
The CEO of HealthSouth, the Fortune 500 healthcare company.
Ferrari Enzo was nearly obliterated in the high-speed crash along the PCH.
Zenvo, ST1, 50S.
He went from being on the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
And it made 3 for the United States.
Parkman Khan, former exotic car dealer turned #1 FBI's most wanted fugitive.
Generally, when you look at the law, 90% of the time it's against you.
The FBI put a $20,000 reward for information into his arrest.
Parkman Khan scammed super rich customers at a New Jersey car dealership.
Join myself and James Parkman, my attorney and best friend, as we have cars, courts, and conversations.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Parkman and Khan Unleashed. That's Jim Parkman and I'm Bobby Khan. And Happy New Year to everybody, and hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. We're back, and it's a shame. First day of the year yesterday, and all we got was negative news everywhere.
It wasn't just negative news.
It was just horrible news.
Horrible news.
My condolences, Jimmy's condolences to all the people that lost, all the families that lost members.
A lot of them, some from Alabama, some from Georgia.
Yeah. And a lot of people got injured. I think it was like 35 people got injured in New Orleans yesterday, and 10 in Las Vegas yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, we had 14 that were killed.
Yeah,
that died, and then we had 30 something that were injured. A lot of reports aren't coming out.
Not away from the New Year.
Yeah, it was not a good New Year, and
no. But you know what? We're here to talk about it. Our name is Unleashed, so we're gonna just put our 2 cents in and talk about what's going on here today. So, Jimmy, lead the way.
Well, when I heard it, somewhat of disbelief, somewhat of it happened, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think looking back on it, as far as what I would say, they tell us we cannot let people determine when we're going to have fun and when we're not going to have fun because of fear.
Yep, of course.
But I'm going to say this today, okay? I think it is something that is there,
you have fear every day.
Yeah, when you think about that, you can't go, of all places, on New Year's that's got a bowl game playing the next day, New Year's Day, and you can't go to Bourbon Street, New Orleans, okay, and just go to have a good time because you're worried about whether or not you're going to get killed.
Well, it's fun. It's a sad thing that we live in society today. Like my daughter, we have a bunch of malls in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, she wanted to go to this one mall, and I told her she couldn't go there anymore because I said that mall had a couple of shootings in it. It's like, malls have shootings, schools have shootings.
Yes.
You're on the street corner. Like last week, wherever you got like a Christmas village. Where are you safe?
I don't know. I guess that's the whole point of today. Where are you safe? Except maybe the better chances at home.
At home, exactly. And
look, we had a shooting in a church a year ago.
Well, many shootings in churches. I mean, remember South Carolina? There's a bunch of shootings in churches.
Yeah, but it's right here.
Yeah, a place of worship is not safe. A place of education, a place of shopping, restaurants. I mean, like, you're afraid to walk into a restaurant. You never know someone's going to walk in and shoot somebody. Right here. You know where we live. We live in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there's a restaurant next to the grocery store. Somebody walked in and opened fire and started shooting, killed somebody, and he killed 2 of the cashiers because the guy that shot, they were involved in a PPP scam. Okay, the COVID loans and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get his cut. So this guy didn't get the cut, so he went and shot somebody and took out 2 innocent people.
Yeah, that's... and on this particular occasion, young people were killed.
Yeah,
freshmen in college over Georgia, for example, and another young man from Alabama. I mean, going down there. Look. When I was in college, I went down there. We played the Sugar.
We did
Alabama played in the Sugar Bowl. I went down there. I didn't. When I went to Bourbon Street, I didn't think I'm going to go down there and get killed by somebody running over me.
Exactly.
And now here we are. And of all people, from what I've read about the guy, 10 years in the military, served in Afghanistan.
That's what's troubling.
It is. And listen, this is a guy that if he was flying home or flying there and he was in a restaurant, you'd go up to him and go, "Thank you for your service," and pay for his meal.
Listen, I have the utmost respect for military people. My wife comes from a family of military people. I have nothing. And this is what's like, it's not sitting well with me because the one in Vegas that happened, I mean, for those of you that don't know, in front of Trump Hotel, Trump International, where we drive by like at least once a day. When you go to the mall across the street from it, I've been in and out of the Trump Hotel many times in that valet. Mm-hmm. And this Tesla Cybertruck pulls up and it explodes. And now we're finding out that the guy shot himself before he pulled up. So the car actually pulled up to this the gate and the guy was already dead.
Yeah.
He was in self-drive mode.
And what's interesting to me about that, and this is the lawyer part of me going to chirp in, okay? Not the individual.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for this.
Both vehicles, Vegas,
were rented
from the same company.
Toro, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
both military members.
Yes. Now,
so
I'm not saying they're connected. I'm just saying what a coincidence that you would have that happen on the same day.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Now, I'm the unleashed part here. Okay?
Yeah, you are.
Because, but this is what, as you know, I have very little trust in our federal government and the agencies that are running it because of everything that I've gone through and experienced. And, I'm a history buff, okay? So I look at things that have happened in the past. And any time that the FBI was threatened with, funding was going to be cut or they were going to trim the fat and some people were going to get, kicked out of their positions and stuff like that. All of a sudden, something goes wrong and the FBI is front and center. And instead of funding being cut, they run into Congress and say, "Hey, we need more funding because we're here to protect you." And the fear-mongering starts, and the politicians, these are the same politicians that were going to cut their funding 6 weeks ago, are going to say, "Okay, we're going to give you more money. We're not going to fire anybody. In fact, we're actually going to hire more people and give you more authority." And then it all goes away, and it's like a couple years go by, and then all of a sudden, the same politicians will be like, "Well, we need to defund the FBI, and we need to cut their funding, and we need to fire people." And for the last 2 months, in my opinion, it's all about Kash Patel is going to run the FBI. Kash Patel's going in, and he said he's making cuts. He's going to get rid of certain people. He's going to do this. And what happens today? The FBI is all over the news. But I'm going to say this to any politician watching today. Don't get played, okay? I have so much faith in our local and state agencies. I think our police departments, for their state police, let it be local sheriffs, they're competent enough to handle these investigations. And they're competent enough to share information amongst states. So New Orleans, Las Vegas can share data.
Well, yeah, and I want to say this while we're on it, okay? To me, from what I've read, and from I've been down there before on New Year's.
Yeah,
there was always a good police,
there absolutely is
good presence of police down there. And
there was a cop right there when the guy clipped it. He almost clipped the cop car.
Yeah, but I mean they were there, and they were there, and they're not ugly. They're nice. They know what people are doing. They're down there drinking, having a good time. They're not there to harass you or anything. They're down there to keep the order, make sure no fights or stuff like that. Now, a lot of what I've seen is everybody going, well, why, how did this happen? How did they look? This could happen anytime, anywhere.
Somebody snapped.
Yeah, and
right.
So what? What's the solution? I don't.
Here's the tricky part, okay? In the last 24 hours, I've seen so many different narratives come out, right?
Yeah.
So the moment it happened, All of a sudden, President Trump puts out a tweet and says, you got to close the borders, you got to do this, you got to do that. Then we find out, well, the guy was born in Texas. He's an American.
He's an American citizen.
So that goes out the window. Then it's
Wait a minute. On top of that, let me add. He acted alone now. You know, they came out with where there are other people. No, he acted alone.
He acted alone.
Which makes it even more difficult
to prevent.
Exactly. Because if you're acting alone and you're a citizen,
what do you do?
It's tough.
There's nothing you can do. I mean, and the guy was in the military.
Yeah.
Okay? So now the other guy's an actually active military member. He's been in the military since 2005. His whole life has been in the military, between National Guard, military. Yeah. He's a drone pilot or something like that. He's active. You would never suspect that. A guy's, he was just, he's sent home from Germany on vacation. Like this was his time off, right? For the holidays or something like that. Mm-hmm. And for him to do that, you can't prevent this. You don't know. And you don't know why someone's snapping, right? And then it just gets you to believe, like, did somebody set this up? Like, you start thinking a million things because, not life isn't all white picket fences and roses and, it's a perfect world. We know we live in a nefarious world. We know there's undertones of negativity and so much is happening. President Trump's going to take over. People aren't happy about it. I don't know. I mean, it happened outside of Trump's hotel in a Cybertruck that Elon Musk is good friends with Trump. Elon Musk is with Trump every day for the last 2 months. So was it a message of some sort? I don't know.
You'll never know.
You never know.
But you know this. You do know this. He parked it early in the morning, drove around the block, they said, maybe once, maybe twice, I don't know.
They said a couple times, yeah.
Yep. Then parked it early in the morning, which, most people aren't going to be up at that hour, especially from the night before, Yeah. And so was it a message? Again, you look at circumstantial evidence of the vehicle and the tower, okay? Yep. And the name, and you got to expect.
It's a message.
Now, why? You'll never know that unless he wrote it down somewhere. Unless they wrote it somewhere, put it in a diary or something like that they can find.
But I mean, it's like it has to seem like it is a message of some sort because of all places, it has the Trump Tower in a Tesla. Trump and Elon Musk are together. Sure. Trump has said he's going to cut the fat. He's going to do all kinds of stuff. Elon Musk has said he's going to go in there. We don't need 490 agencies. We only need 90. And so there's a lot of rhetoric going out there. Yeah. And who knows what? Who knows what? I mean, listen, for all we know, the guy could have been in serious financial debt, and somebody said, we'll take care of your family or whatever not. You take care, you do this. We don't know.
No, and you won't. Nope. Generally, unless there's information left. Now, going back to New Orleans, okay, here you have a guy, like you said, that if you looked at his resume, you'd be buying him supper, okay?
Yeah.
And so, what happened between the time that he got out and wanted to put an ISIS flag in his truck and bomb material and leave a message that I wanted to kill my family before this?
From what I understood, I mean, looking at his life in the last 24 hours, this guy that got out of the military and then got into some financial troubles, got divorced twice. He was just, I guess, fed up with the world because his money problems were taking over. He was living in a dump. His wife took the kids. His wife got remarried. His other wife got remarried. So it's like, I get some of those people. Like, a lot of people can't handle that. You understand? Like, not everybody is strong-willed and being able to handle rejection and be able to handle financial problems.
Yeah.
And suicide is a way out for them. And then when they do it, they're like,
but it goes deeper than that.
I know.
Because obviously ISIS had an effect.
Yeah, of course.
Now, let me close out this segment with this question, okay? When I heard this about the ISIS flag, okay?
Yeah.
I thought ISIS was gone.
Me too. I mean,
I
we
mean,
knew it started during Obama's time.
They're wiped off the earth. Why are we worried about ISIS now?
Exactly. Well, the thing is, you know, like, so for example, ISIS didn't exist until Obama became president. And all of a sudden that existed under him because of the whole Arab Spring happening. And then now all of a sudden, you know, Trump becomes president, he wipes it away. No one's heard about it for 4 years, and now they're back.
And here's a guy that obviously they're back because he had to have some kind of mind training.
Yep.
From somewhere.
I'm going to say something here, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me. Do you understand that we live in a country that is run by warmongers? Okay. You can't be a weapons manufacturer if there's no war. You cannot sit there and have a multi-billion-dollar corporation that sells jets and stuff when you have no war to fly those jets in and stuff. And under Trump's presidency, we had peace. Trump didn't start any wars. And Trump's plans are to end the wars that are currently in action right now between Ukraine and all that other stuff in Israel. And by doing so, you really crush the business of so many big major corporations that make billions, and I'd say trillions of dollars selling weapons. There's no money in peace.
Well, that's just the old economic supply and demand theory, okay?
Yep.
But I don't think that has anything to do with what happens in New Orleans.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it had to do with his mind being to the point that, I mean, he had to know he was going to die. He had a handgun.
Oh, absolutely.
He knew when he got out of the car, he started firing. He knew you're in a losing battle, okay?
Oh, absolutely. He wanted that. He wanted suicide by...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he knew it all along. And I think it was... I guess...
I think that was just way out. That was his way out.
Maybe it was his thinking that it was his way to a better place.
I don't know what it was, but I think it screwed up. And I wish, I hope the families find peace and solace some way. It's not easy, especially right around the holidays to lose anybody.
No.
It's not very easy to lose anybody ever.
It's like the song says, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and you don't want to imagine.
No, no. Can you imagine getting a call that your son has been run over and killed by a terrorist, going to New Orleans to have a good time?
Yeah, you know what? And you'll be very angry, I'll tell you that much, because you get no answers.
No.
And that's, and then you live the rest of your life. Why? Why did it happen? So.
And why would you want to kill my son? Why him? Why anybody?
Yeah.
Why anybody? But why my son? If that's you're asking.
I know, and it sucks. Things like this really suck because what they do is they really tear up the nation because the nation people start mouthing off and saying, well, it's this fault and that fault. And I think we just need to come to the realization that there's nothing that we could have done to prevent this or figure out. We can't get in the guy's head to realize why he did this. No. And, I don't want to go into the next election. I mean, President Trump's inauguration thinking that, people are going to try to jeopardize his presidency already.
Let me tell you something. You better.
Yeah, I know.
Because
the reality is that,
listen, this is getting out of hand.
Yep.
Okay?
I know.
Yep. And I'm not here with any solutions. I wish I could give you one. But
but it's a shame because they're going to want to do everything they can to make him look bad.
Well, I'm not, I'm saying to you, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing out of bounds with what could happen with some people.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing's out of bounds anymore. It's
nothing.
Everything's in play.
Yep. And no matter, there's no place that's safe anymore. I don't care if you live in a country club neighborhood or you live, in downtown someplace. No. It's all fair game.
Or go to one of your favorite big time hotels.
Doesn't matter. It's all this.
Well,
so We'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Let us know.
Thanks.
A couple more episodes on the way, okay? And welcome back once again.